Hey guys, it's the Infamous from the Infamous Chronicles. I wanted to let you know that all of our shows have partnered up with Civvies Apparel. Civvies Apparel is an online clothing store that takes donated military uniforms worn by our men and women in service, and they repurpose them into clothing like t-shirts, tank tops, hoodies, hats for men and women. It's an awesome brand. You guys have seen pictures of us all in the clothing all over our social media. And what they do that's so special is they donate 10% of all of their sales to local veterans organizations. Now check this out. Go to civviesapparel.com and use our coupon code Chronicles20 to save 20% off your entire purchase. That's Chronicles20 for 20% off. Go ahead, check them out on their socials at Civvies Apparel or visit them online at civviesapparel.com. Thanks a lot, guys, for helping us support this great cause.
Get a life, nerd.
This is Murder of Nerds with Action Figure Junkie and the Infamous.
Hey everybody, thanks for joining us again for another episode of Murder of Nerds. We are back up in the easy. As always, I am the Action Figure Junkie, Sean. I'm back with you. And my partner, Jay, Infamous. What up, son? We got a special show for you this week. We have an in-house guest sitting right next to me, bringing all the sexy. And then we actually have another one on the phone. So,
Also bringing sexy.
Also bringing more sexy.
Yeah.
This, because it is the month of October, we are all about celebrating Halloween all fucking month long. So, we decided to have a friend of ours who is actually the owner of one of our local comic book stores, the best comic book store that's local to us.
One of three great owners.
That's right. Julio from We Can Be Heroes Comics. What's up, dude?
How's it going, man?
Very glad to have you in here again.
Well, thank you for having me.
Julio's a huge horror movie fan, just like me.
That's very true.
Yes, so we are about to get down, discuss horror movies, and on the phone, we have a special guest, Brett DeJager, who happens to be an independent horror movie director, writer, and this dude has probably had his hands covered in fake blood more than anybody you know.
And if you guys remember, our friend of the show, Alan, this guy is the gentleman that directed his first movie, Bone Jangles.
Awesome.
So, introducing to the crowd, Mr. Brett DeJager.
Hey, how's it going, everybody?
Oh my god, I thought he killed himself for a second.
He's like, I'm done with the show.
The worst intro I've ever had.
I was like, oh man, I'm done. I'm enough here for this.
So
right.
We're going to discuss Brett's what Brett's got coming in the works, what he's done, his inspirations, his favorite horror movies, our favorite horror movies. We're just going to have a little bit of a horror fest up in this bitch.
Because it's the Halloween season, right?
The whole month is a Halloween season, which Infamous doesn't quite understand.
Oh.
He thinks it's literally the day of, and this is and it's the day he just gets to look at chicks dressed slutty. He doesn't understand the love of Halloween, and he never will.
Well, he's following the rules. You know, they canceled Halloween. You're not supposed to do anything about it.
Not here, man. It is
really
full a go. Oh yeah, I have a daughter. We're taking her trick or treating. We're having a big Halloween bash.
Fuck yeah, dude, that's awesome.
What is the little DeJager dressing up as?
She is going as a Princess Jasmine from Aladdin.
Nice.
In 40 degrees? So you guys don't
bet.
know this.
You bet.
Brett lives in northern Wisconsin, so that's where he'll be trick-or-treating.
Sounds like apparently the coldest place on earth.
Yes.
Yeah, COVID can't live up there, you know? So.
Oh, that might be true.
But would you trade being able to trick-or-treat for doing it in negative 30 degrees?
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
I like sweating my balls off, man. I'm totally good with that.
I'm a puss. I love changing seasons, which we don't get here. But when it gets to be that cold or even remotely that cold, I bitch the fuck out. Goodbye.
I love AC, man. Air conditioning is my favorite thing in the world.
I once trick-or-treated when I was like 11. I once trick-or-treated in like 4 feet of snow in a blizzard.
What?
And on Halloween night, and it was, and I ended up directing a movie, wrote a short film for like an anthology, 1031, by Rocky Gray. One of my segments that I directed was called The Halloween Blizzard of 1991, and it was actually based on a true story where Duluth, Minnesota got like 36 inches of snow on Halloween in that one day. And I remember walking around trick-or-treating in snow pants and everything in the dark, and it was actually blizzarding, but everybody was still trick-or-treating and everything. It was insane.
Oh, wow. No, wow. I'm out.
Yeah, me too, man. I don't like candy that much.
Yeah, there's no candy that's worth it.
Brett, out there is like Halloween's kind of turned into like a second Christmas here, where people have orange lights out front now, and pretty much just as much decor. Well, let's say 80% of the decor effort as they do during Christmas. Is it the same way there? Since you can't really go outdoors right now, do people still go all ham on the outdoor decor?
Yeah, it's really interesting up here. Everybody tries to decorate as much as they possibly can, and for a lot of people, they just leave it up all year round. The lights on their houses and stuff.
Shit.
It's too cold to go.
Yeah, are you going to take them down in 30-degree weather?
No, because here's because I'm glad you brought that up. Wait, what were you saying?
Go I take them down.
Good man.
Because I put up the Christmas decoration.
Good man. Applaud.
Yeah,
I could see how you would use that as an excuse. I'm glad Jay said that, because last year was, I don't know if you remember, but my house. So I've been kind of into Christmas, Halloween lights for a long time, but I've been noticing that everywhere I go now, people are getting into that. Stores are selling it, and it seems to be getting, and I got to be honest, I've been on the vanguard of that shit for years. Forefront. I decorated my house with so many purple and orange lights last year that if you were to just take a picture of the house and make it black and white, you'd swear it was Christmas, except for maybe the handful of tombstones. But it's as many lights on my house for Halloween as it is for Christmas.
Have you watched Hubie Halloween yet on Netflix?
No.
So it all takes place in Salem.
I have not.
All the aerial shots of it's like the town and the houses and everything. It's like the opening aerial shot in a Christmas movie. Everything's lit up. There's shit everywhere. There's like motion pumpkins and stuff. Yeah. It's a really dumb movie, but it's cute for the kids.
My kid is dying to watch that.
It was cool.
He's 9. Adam Sandler's is God.
It's a good message about bullying. If you can, that's the point of the movie. It's about bullying.
Fuck bullying.
So speaking of movies, Brett, you've directed some horror movies. It looks like your first was your first one the Cooley Moon. Is that the first one you did?
Yep. So, not really. The first one I did was Cochise Suicides, and that one is never got released. But we shot that, and I was like a freshman in college, and we flew down to Arizona and shot that movie in like 6 days in the middle of like a national park, and made that whole movie or whatever, and then we never finished it, like in post-production, and it was like we shot it right before high def became like the minimum, the mainstream, and everything was, you had to have shot in high def and everything else. So we just, instead of putting more money into that, we just left it. But yeah, Cooley Moon was the first movie that I wrote, directed, produced, all that kind of stuff, and then actually made it through the post-production phase and premiered it and all that kind of stuff. So that's where I met a lot of my contacts that kept my, my movie career going, per se. But
and how do you get to that point? How does a kid from Wisconsin get a write, produce, and direct and a horror movie and get it released, nationally? I mean, I remember seeing DVD copies of that when, what year did that come out? What do we got here?
2012, is it?
2012. So
2012, yeah, like 2012.
Yeah, so I swear to God, I remember seeing copies of it at Walmart on the DVD section, and I know it's on Amazon. It's not in print anymore. I have like 200 Blu-rays in my garage somewhere.
I'll take one.
That's been sitting there forever.
Julio wants one.
We'll take all 200.
Literally, I freaking can't even give them away for free anymore. Nobody wants physical media. I'm like, at like a convention, chucking them at people, and they just stomp on them and walk away.
We should give them out at the Halloween claim sale.
Yeah, we totally can.
Oh, that'd be awesome,
dude. I will send you a whole fucking bunch of them in the mail.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'll even give you my UPS number so you don't have to pay to ship those bitches.
Oh, all right, there you go.
Sounds good. I will send you a whole bunch.
So sorry, Julio's excitement got ahead of us there. So how does that movie get released? How did you find a buyer for that?
Well, for Cooley Moon, it was, I don't know, to be honest, I don't know how far of a release that actually got. Like, I know, like, I'm so terrible. I just don't keep up with, like, I don't watch my own movies once they're done. I don't, like, at the premiere, I'll, like, go across the street to a bar and, like, not watch it. And, like, I've never seen any of my, like, you know, because I edit most of my own movies. And so Bone Jangles was the only one that I didn't edit myself, but, like, I'll, like, edit it. And then once it's finished, I'll do obviously before it's finalized and sent to the, you know, the distribution company or whatever. But, like, once it's actually on Blu-ray or DVD, I won't actually watch it. But this one, you know, once you release, like, a poster or, you know, a trailer, you get, like, 200 emails from distribution companies wanting to, you know, sign on and handle it. So you can, I mean, finding a distribution company is actually really simple. It's finding one that's not going to rape you and
that's what you want.
Steal all the right, but not in a, you know, like they'll take none of them are good deals, you know, anymore. Even like, you know, I even like Bone Jangles, I never saw a penny from Bone Jangles, and that was in Redbox and Walmart and all that, and I never saw a cent, not even one penny.
Yeah, I've heard that from other small filmmakers that they've made deals with Shudder and they regretted it. Yeah.
Well, I don't know about Shudder, but
I paid for my copy of Bone Jangles on my Amazon Prime, so I am upset to hear that you didn't get any of that money.
Wow.
No, well, you know, it probably went to Keith Melcher, you know. Which is good. He needs all the royalties that he can get from that movie. But so to answer your question, it's, you know, they email you and they're like, oh, you know, this is, you know, what we can do, and we're going to make it our top priority, and we're going to put it in our, you know, our catalog, and, you know, all that kind of stuff. And for a first time filmmaker, you're like, you don't expect that, and then so you just get all excited, and then you just hop on the first deal that you could possibly, you know, imagine, you know, and then you're like, oh shit, somebody owns my movie for the next decade, and I'll probably, you know, and then you don't ever end up seeing it again. And so, like, this one ended up, like, they signed on for Cooley Moon, and then they ended up giving it back to me, like, 2 years later because it wasn't making any money. So they're like, okay, we're done with it. You can do with it whatever you want with it. So, so now it's not with the distribution company. It's just sitting in my garage.
Wow, that's great. So you took all the time to write, shoot, edit Bone Jangles, and at the end of the day, all the money went to everybody else?
Right, because I didn't. Luckily, Keith Melcher is a good friend of mine, and he wrote Bone Jangles, and I didn't know him at the time. In fact, I didn't know anybody that, you know. So like Sean O'Connell and Labyrinth Films, they produced Bone Jangles. Keith Melcher wrote Bone Jangles, and I directed it, and I didn't know any of those guys until the premiere of The Legend of Cooley Moon. They actually came down to the red carpet event and the after party, and they introduced themselves to me at the after party. And then we got to talking about movies. And so then when they had Bone Jangles, they were looking for a director, and it was already funded. The money was already there to make it, and they were looking for a director. And they reached out to me and asked if I wanted to direct it. And I'm like, hell yeah, I want to direct it. So that's kind of how actually Bone Jangles came to be. And so part of it was I really wanted to do the project, and it was a step up from from Cooley Moon. And I didn't have, you know, the money was already there, which is really rare. So I said, okay, well, you don't have to really pay me anything. if I'll have some back end royalties or whatever on it, and then so that way instead of paying me, they use the money for practical effects or whatever it might be. So that's how that came to be. So I own a very little amount of Bone Jangles. So that's why, and so then I get paid last. Well, it never got down to me, I guess, but which is fine.
That's crazy. And then from Bone Jangles, you did 2 anthology movies, right? You did Cryptids and 1031. Those are the next 2?
I did. Yeah, so I did 1031, and then I did 1031 Part 2 that just came out not too long ago, and then Cryptids as well, which is releasing really soon here. So I have actually part of 3 anthologies.
Do you kill Alan Reginald in all of them?
Yeah, I do. Every chance I get, I kill that son of a bitch.
Were you like, when they signed the Bone Jangles contract, were you like, I'll do it, but I need to kill Alan Reginald with a marshmallow skewer, or I'm fucking out?
Yeah. Yep, or I am out. And I want a bush latte in my hand the whole time.
So these guys have been itching to talk horror with you. So that is not my strength. So I'm going to pass it over to them.
Do you have strength?
Yeah. Ask your mom. She loves it.
Okay.
So I know. Let's start with the basic one, and then I'll let them take it. What inspired you to start going down a path in horror? Was that intentional or an accident?
Eli Roth, Cabin Fever.
Oh, wow.
Both of these guys like that movie.
I literally just watched it within the last week because it's on Netflix, and I'm like, oh shit, I haven't seen this in a hot minute. And man, does that movie resonate more now than it fucking ever did when it came out.
They remade it too. It's fucking terrible.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I saw it. I saw it. I worked post production, and I worked at a post house. And one day they said, "Oh, you need to go grab this tape from the tape room. They're ordering it to get dubbed."
Okay.
I'm like, okay, so I go upstairs and I grab it, and I'm like, Cabin Fever. I'm like, all right, and I pop it in and I start watching it, and because we're gonna dub some, because it was made many years before it actually got released.
Hey, Infamous, could you stop vacuuming while we're trying to do a fucking podcast?
Dude, you're OCD, man. Control yourself.
Yeah, sorry that I have.
And if you're gonna do it, just do it topless, please. Like Melanie Griffith and
like those
Working Girl.
Like those pink vans that they park out here.
Hell yeah, dude. Yeah. I'd rent one of those.
Anyway, so I dug it out, and we were gonna, dub some tapes of it, and I watched it for the very first time. I saw the unedited version before it got big released and anything, and I was like, really, who's this Eli Roth guy?
Yeah.
And we watched it all together. Everybody at the post house watched it.
That is awesome.
Yeah. So and who knew that was going to be the movie that it was? I've seen so many crappy movies that people have pulled out of the vault and said, oh, this was made 10 years ago. We're going to release it now.
Yeah.
And that ended up being Cabin Fever. Eli Roth started his career on that thing. And
in the course of 1 week, I watched 3 of his movies.
Great story.
Yeah.
Cabin Fever, The Green Inferno,
Love it.
and House with the Clock in Its Walls. And I'm like, fuck, man. Every one of these movies is awesome in its own way.
Yeah. I like his Thanksgiving little thing that he does on the
Thanksgiving.
The Grindhouse thing. Yeah.
We never did get that movie.
Dude,
No.
Thanksgiving is legit. I mean, I
It
love
is.
Thanksgiving. Not the third one, I guess, but the first one was...
You're talking about the turkey movie.
Wait, these are real movies?
Yeah,
I'm thinking of
Thanksgiving.
his fake trailer.
Yeah, no. I brought that up last week.
He did the
Thanksgiving is the
voice.
turkey movie, the gobble gobble bitch.
Yeah, gobble gobble, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Sometime.
These guys didn't believe that was actual movie. I was like, yes, dude, I've seen all 3 of them.
I showed the trailer for 1031 to these guys right before we sat down, and it ends, and Julio's like, fuck yeah, that looks awesome.
It does. It looks really good. Yeah. So did you, when you started out, did you know that you wanted to make movies like this? And this is like...
It was... I was in college going with a psych degree, which I have, right? That's what I ended up getting, was a psychology degree. And it was literally, I grew up watching, horror movies with my mom. It was, sci-fi and, the classics, and
Wait,
so I've always loved horror movies.
Wait, Brett, pump the brakes. I got to open up that. What horror movies / sci-fi movies would you watch with your mom, and at what age? That's interesting to me.
Oh yeah, we would always sit down and watch Tales from the Crypt together. And I was like, maybe like 8.
Me and my parents 9. Too. Yeah. Okay. Nice. Yeah. Okay.
My mom,
because that wasn't too. It wasn't too over the top, violent, gory, sexual, but I mean, it was definitely, I'd say, R-rated, but like,
it was good. It
wasn't too bad. It's on HBO.
With the new, the killing was fine, but of course, like any nudity, like cover your eyes.
The nudity is where they draw the line at the nudity.
You see somebody get their heads cut off, but God forbid you see a nipple.
Dude, right. I used to. So every Friday night in my house was family movie night growing up. So I was a teenager, right? And I remember distinctly in elementary school, if I had buddies come over and spend the night, my parents would also make them cover their eyes if there was titties on the screen. It was so embarrassing.
Buzz kills.
Well, I grew up in a house where all we did was watch movies. Like that was like what my family did. I don't know if it's because we were poor and that was like the greatest thing that they can give us is take us to the theater or watch movies with us at home. The VCR was the greatest thing ever invented for us. Mm-hmm. But we were Elvira kids. We watched Kung Fu theater, and then Elvira would come, and then that
Movie Macabre.
Movie Macabre, yeah. And my mom...
He gets my references, unlike you.
Yeah, my mom said, we have to go see this movie. And don't tell your father I'm taking you to see this, but we and you are going to go see this. And it was the first Evil Dead.
Oh my God!
In theater?
Nice.
You son of a bitch.
My dad could not stand horror movies, but like my mom was hardcore. Man, every horror movie that I ever saw was it was with my mom.
It's interesting that you guys both discovered horror with your mother figure when normally it's the other way around. That's pretty cool. Yeah. You guys have some Brett and Brett have badass moms.
Yeah, mine didn't. My mom.
I do have a badass mom. So, Mom, if you're listening, you're badass.
Good job, moms.
So
good job, Mom.
How does that? So you grow up watching horror movies. When does that translate into being, something that you're doing?
Well, I think so. When I make, and this is probably why my movies aren't that popular. When I write a script, a horror movie and stuff, I write it as if I'm watching it, and this is what I want to see. I'm writing what I want to see, what I enjoy. And I think I have such a weird eclectic taste. Like some people, my movies are super odd sometimes and like they don't make sense and whatnot. But for me, I really don't that's not what I go for. And so I'm writing it as a horror movie fan, knowing exactly what I like and what I want to see. So, I mean, that's how I approach it, but obviously I know what works. You got to study the numbers and the trends and all that kind of stuff if you want to be mainstream and you want to get the biggest audience possible. You have to include all these different things and whatnot. And for the longest time, there were rules that you needed to have when you were writing horror movies and directing horror movies. Within the first 10 seconds, somebody needs to die.
A black guy, probably,
within the first, 1 minute there needs to be nudity, or you know what I mean, like that kind of thing. So
you're not following any of these rules.
Well, I mean, I sometimes I do, sometimes I do, but then other times I'm just like whatever, because here's the deal, most of the time I fund the movies myself with my own money, so I don't fucking give a shit if
that was my next
obviously
question.
It's my money. Right. So I don't answer to anybody in that regard. So if I lose the money, it's on me.
Right.
But then I did what I wanted to do. So
yeah, that's awesome, man.
How does your wife feel about that? And did she know that before she married you, that you were going to be funding independent movies with
their money? She figures as long as he keeps slinging rock and bringing the money in, she doesn't give a fuck what he does.
As long as there's boxes of Blu-rays in the garage to fall back on when times gets up.
Absolutely.
So to answer this question too, we don't share money.
Oh,
so
smart
she does.
Lady.
Jesus, you're married.
She does her own thing.
Wow.
She makes her own money. And I make my own money. And so as long as she doesn't ask me what I spend my money on, we're good. And so. So there's that, and so she doesn't mind it.
You definitely should write a book
gets
about
a
that
fucking alert on her phone if I spend $11 at McDonald's. She'll just text me, be like, "How was your lunch? I see you spent money."
That sounded so exactly like her.
Yeah, I'm gonna meet her later, right? If she doesn't sound like that, you won't be leaving.
Yeah.
Just, so does she support?
She knew what she was getting into because we met in grad school, and I had already started, making movies and whatnot.
You had like a camera in one hand and a bucket of fake blood in the other. She was like, that's what you mean. Okay.
Yeah, I always had a camera in one hand. That's for sure.
Well, I saw in the trailer to Bojangles, which I haven't had the pleasure to watch, and I'm definitely going to watch it because it's definitely something right up my alley. I saw that Reggie Bannister is in that movie.
Yes.
That's pretty awesome. I've actually I've met him several times. He's a very nice guy.
Dude, Reggie is so nice.
For those of us that don't know who the fuck that is, who the fuck is that?
Reggie Bannister is the star of Phantasm movies.
The star of Phantasm.
He was the ice cream guy.
He was also in Full Metal Jacket.
Which part in Full Metal Jacket?
Was he in Full Metal Jacket?
Yeah, wasn't he?
I don't know about that one.
I wanted to research it. We don't.
I don't know about that one.
All right. Well,
I highly doubt anybody in Phantasm was in
That's not a
Full
horror
Metal
movie,
Jacket.
so I don't know.
So which one?
My old white men.
So in Phantasm, he's the one who doesn't get hit by the flying.
He's
ball.
the one that takes over the series. He's basically the one that the tall man. He fights the tall man afterwards. Like number 2 or 3. He's the best friends with Mike. Right? Mike's the older brother. I think it's Mike, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So and he drives the Barracuda.
Yeah, super nice guy.
Very nice.
Super hardworking. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, and I actually my store is in Chatsworth, and I spoke to what's his name, the director of Phantasm not too long ago, and he was saying your comic book store is in Chatsworth. That's where we filmed Phantasm.
What?
And I'm like, what?
The cemetery, like the not cemetery, but the mortuary.
Yeah. It's in Chatsworth.
What? There's a mortuary in Chatsworth?
I did not know that.
Or it could. Well, it doesn't have to be a mortuary. I guess it could have been just some kind of a set or a scene, but it seems like a
he filmed it out here. Don Caraskelly, he was telling me about that. He was like, wow. Yeah, I used to go up there, and there was no 118 freeway. You just get off, on the 405, and you just drove all the way to Chatsworth, and it was a fucking long ass drive. And he was telling me about that because I told him, you need to come by my comic book store and hang out
and do some signings.
No, he just I've met him like maybe 10 times in my life.
Yeah.
So like when he sees me on like a show or something, he's like, "Hey, Julio, what's going on?"
That's cool.
But I did not know that Phantasm was shot in Chatsworth, and Reggie Bannister himself too. He's very nice. I just bought the Blu-ray, the whole box set of the Phantasm movies, which I will never open because the whole entire cast signed it.
So for you millennials, you used to have to put movies inside of machines to make them play.
Yeah.
Yeah, you couldn't just press buttons like TV. Brett, have you ever filmed out this way on the West Coast in LA at all?
I have not filmed out there. I've been to a couple movie premieres out there. Farthest out west I filmed was obviously in Arizona, which is
it's warm
count,
there.
I guess, but yeah, I've never filmed out in LA.
Where do you want your movie career to go? Do you want to continue directing movies that you own like that, or if Lionsgate came calling or Bloom came calling, and would you do it?
I would. I would sell the fuck out so hard.
Good for you, man.
Amen.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Dude, I will not feel guilty for selling out. Like,
nope.
if Lionsgate came to me and said, "Hey, you know what? We want you to direct this thing," or "What do you think about rebooting Cabin Fever?" or like a sequel or something, I'd be like, hell to the yeah. What do you want me to do? I will do it.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I don't think that's selling out, man.
No.
I mean, that's a smart move.
It's succeeding.
Yeah, redo Cabin Fever. Just cut out the scene where the chick decides to shave her legs.
I'm telling you, they redid it. It was awful.
Oh, that
Why did she have to shave her legs? I understand it was to gross us out, but what motivated her to shave her fucking legs in that moment?
It was a nude scene too.
Yeah.
Oh, the nude scenes with her are fantastic. I remember when I watched that. I just went straight to IMDb and looked up that chick's. That wonderful actress's IMDb. The one that got nude a couple times in the movie.
Terrible.
Fantastic.
She's the one that gets fingered in the leg.
No,
this is where it's going, huh?
Yeah, remember he reaches down and he thinks he's fingering her, but it's a hole in her leg.
Oh yeah.
There you go.
You guys looked at me like I was crazy.
Yeah, no, that was the blonde, I think. Ugh.
Okay, I got one for you guys.
Yeah, what do you
since
got?
I don't like horror movies.
Geek.
All right, Brett, you go first. What's your all-time favorite horror movie kill?
So Friday the 13th, the sleeping bag scene.
What, where he bangs it against a tree like multiple times?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Oh my god,
That's a great one.
Oh my god, I don't even know. I don't even know why I bother answering after that.
That's a great one. That is definitely
Jason
a great one.
X. Was that Jason X?
That's Versus. I think wasn't it Versus? It might have
Freddy
been
versus Jason. No, it wasn't Friday the 13th movie. It wasn't. It was one of those.
It was in space. It was Jason in space. They did it like as a. It was either a dream or like virtual
reality or something like that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, Jason X is wonderful. I love that movie.
Yeah, so
and the fact that the scene in there where he freezes her head in the liquid nitrogen.
Oh yeah,
is a great kill.
There you go.
Is a great kill.
Dude, it's so underrated.
Yes,
that movie is so underrated. I'll go out there and say I like it.
No, I have a T-shirt that everybody asks me about. Like it's like a collage of scenes from the movie, and people go like, "Is that a Jason X shirt?" I'm like, "Yes, it is." Yeah. Damn right.
Damn right it is.
No,
the only shirt in existence.
Well, I saw it at Monsterpalooza, and I was just like, "Is that a Jason X shirt? Dude, give it to me."
The only one in existence, too.
No,
I'm sure there's not a lot of them in print.
But as soon as I saw it, I wanted it.
So is that your favorite kill then?
Oh yeah, you know what? That has to be one of my top kills. But like I said, I'm an Evil Dead guy. The tree banging the chick and tying her up, it's just wonderful. Yeah, it's wonderful. Love it.
So I'm not really into like funny or off kilter kills. Those are great, but the kills that just kind of really affect me, and when I watch them get really kind of emotionally and fucked up and scared and whatnot, that's how I don't really like funny kills. I mean, I watch them, but to this day, the kill that just tweaks my melon the most, maybe it's because when I first saw it, I was only 9 years old, is Johnny Depp's kill in the first Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh yeah,
he gets sucked into the bed.
Yeah,
that's terrifying.
Oh yeah,
I had nightmares about a hand coming up through my mattress and pulling me down and just literally dumping
that was just your
pool
uncle, dude.
Full of blood.
That was just your uncle stepped over.
Fucking Uncle Bill, that bastard.
Doesn't that it comes out of his chest, right, and then pulls him down?
It comes up through the side of the bed and it pulls him down, and then it literally pulls his stereo equipment, his TV, his headphones, his everything, the speakers down in there with him.
And then that was the scene where the director wanted to put more blood in it than the Shining elevator scene.
Yeah. So they filmed it on a.
It vomits him up to the ceiling. It's a great scene. That movie
it was filmed upside down, right?
Oh,
there's a lot of
him coming out of the hole is edited, but you could find it.
Yeah.
It's not
that movie has a lot of amazing great kills. And Nightmare on Elm Street is just it's still incredible how good it is.
I think all of you are gonna hate this and clown on me for it, but visually for me, my favorite kill is there. Did anyone see the movie 13 Ghosts?
Oh, I already know what you're gonna say.
It was a little Dark Castle movie.
Yeah.
But there's a scene where there's like the guy that you fucking hate in the movie. A glass door slides between his body.
That's actually very
and the front half of him smears down, and what's left is like all of his organs.
Best part of that shit movie.
It was really cool.
Oh, I got a good one. I know I already said mine, but I got to throw this one in there. Has anybody seen? This is a shit movie. What's it called? Ghost Ship with Gabriel Byrne.
I was just thinking. That was what I was just gonna say.
Yeah, with the cable that just decapitates everybody.
Yep. Yeah.
I like all the Dark Castle movies. They weren't good, but like House on the Hill and 13
they're
Ghosts
entertaining in their own way.
Gothica.
Yeah.
Robert Downey Jr.
Gothica's with Halle Berry.
Oh yeah, Gothica. I forgot all about that movie.
Yeah, and you're like, what the fuck is going on in this? It kind of went like it was like them. It was Dark Castle, and then Platinum Dunes kind of took over, and then you got Blumhouse. It's kind of the evolution of that, and I don't know. Okay, movie.
I like these questions.
Movie that scared you the most.
Okay,
Brett's first.
Go, Brett. Yeah.
Oh shoot! Oh man. Darkness Falls really fucked me over.
I love that movie.
I know that title. Refresh my memory. What's it about? I know the title.
It's like the Tooth Fairy. Yeah.
The Tooth Fairy?
So I gotta say, like, that really scared me. Like, it must have been a weird point because it was like just freaks me out for whatever reason.
It was dope. It was good.
Right on. Who's next?
You go.
Okay, I got three different types and 3 different eras.
Okay.
I'll be quick. First movie that scared me the most as a kid, up through my teens, and still to this day, if I watch it alone in a dark room, I get fucked up. The Exorcist.
Yeah.
Oh, I love The Exorcist.
Movie that scared me in theaters the most was modern. Was Paranormal Activity.
Oh, the original?
Dude, especially the third one.
Oh, the third one's fantastic.
Dude, the third one with the oscillating fan scene.
I watched the first one in theaters with a friend of mine, and our wives were out of town for work, and we both went home to empty houses.
And it was one of those things, too, where you'd never seen anything like it.
Yeah.
So, remember, like, it was kind of like the first time you saw Blair Witch, you're like, what the fuck?
I loved
Blair Witch, yeah.
And then the first time I saw It, the movie, the Stephen King movie from just a couple years ago.
Not the new shitty one, right?
No, the new shitty one. The first one. It wasn't shitty. The first time I saw It in theaters, it terrified me.
You liked it better than the Tim Curry version?
I never really. I mean, I know it's blasphemy, but I've seen the Tim Curry one twice, and it was like cool, and it made me scared of clowns. But as a movie, I don't really like. I never loved the movie as a movie, like the directing and the acting and the look of it. It never really. I mean, it was on TV. You know, it was a miniseries on TV, right?
It's a little too glossy now.
Yeah,
it's too well lit.
I just think maybe it's my favorite because Tim Curry's in it, and I love Tim Curry.
Yeah. It would have been awesome to see what he did with the Joker if he didn't get sick.
Oh, I know.
Yeah. Because he was supposed to play Joker in BATS. Then Mark Hamill got it.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah. All right. What's your scariest?
Oh, man. It's so hard. I really did love the Exorcist, but I thought that was really scary. But I think that the first movie that I ever saw that terrified me was Salem's Lot.
Oh, really?
Salem's Lot. Yeah. Salem's Lot was the one that really terrified the living shit out of me.
Yeah, that was a. Vampire movies are hard to be scary. 30 Days of Night, I think it's the scariest vampire movie ever. 30 Days of Night, yeah. Vampire movies are awesome, and I'll never get enough, and I'll never stop loving them and never stop watching them, but I don't watch them usually for scares. They're just entertaining and they're dope. But 30 Days of Night fucked me up. But yeah, Salem's Lot
really messed me up. And then I think as I got older, I was probably like 17, 18 years old, I saw
they're filming
the Candyman.
Fast and Furious outside.
The Candyman. All right, now the Candyman is not necessarily like super terrifying, but I like when I was in the theater sitting there, I got into the whole psychology. Yeah. I was there with Virginia Madsen. I was in there, and when she wakes up in the hospital and she's in the office and the guy is interviewing her, and the Candyman shows up and tears her straps off, and then he just blasts through the window backwards, just like boom. I got all this power. I was like, dude, what the fuck?
Yep.
What the fuck? This is like, and everybody around me was just like, really?
I'm with you. I was really excited about the new one. I mean, I know it's just another COVID casualty, but I thought it looked pretty cool.
Yeah, I love Candyman.
I've seen that movie a lot.
I love it. I'm right there with you, man.
So I love that Brett said Darkness Falls because that was going to be one of mine. As a kid, the movie that scared me the most was Pet Sematary.
Oh, dude.
That fucking anything with kids.
I wish I could erase the movie from your brain and get you to read the book because the book is
I've heard
nightmare-inducing.
Yeah, million times better.
Yeah.
I liked this horrible movie called Boogeyman that Barry Watson did, but the way they filmed this
fantastic movie.
Yeah, it came out right around the same time as Darkness Falls too.
Yeah.
And then so there was a scene that this is the most scary for me. I was 12. I was on my first solo date.
Yeah, baby.
And I remember, I don't like horror movies, and she wanted to go see The Haunting, the Jan de Bont movie with Liam Neeson and Owen Wilson.
Yeah. Okay.
The guy from Speed.
Yeah. And I was like, yeah.
You were right, by the way.
And I went and saw it. And
sorry.
The scene where, is her name Lily Tomlin?
Sounds right, yeah.
She's in a bed, and all the wooden cherubs on her bed, they turn and look at her and start screaming, and then the whole fucking bed comes alive and the ceiling comes alive and shit. I was like, oh my God. I remember I did the whole knees up on the chair in front of me move so that I couldn't see the screen.
Did you get a kiss that night?
I got a hand in my lap that night, actually.
Really?
Oh, nice.
Did she find
nice.
Did she find the red vine she was looking for?
I mean, it wasn't a full HJ. I just got a nice little hand in my lap.
Fuck, I'd take that at 12 in a heartbeat.
I was happy.
What's the next question? These are good. I like, instead of what's your favorite horror movie, these are way better questions. It's like you prepared for this or something.
Well, I knew that I wouldn't be able to contribute, so I wanted to at least have questions.
Oh, there you go.
Okay. Brett's the only director here, but I know that you're a writer and you're a photographer, Junkie. So collectively, we're all creative.
So
people.
We could all make a movie. Yeah, we could just make a movie together.
Yeah, Brett can produce and direct. We can write it, and Sean can be the DP.
I like DP.
It'll be perfect.
Wait, what?
So if you were handed, let's call it a flat $5 million for a studio film that you could remake any horror movie that has not been remade past 2000. So the original had to come out prior to 2000.
Okay.
And you only have a $5 million budget, which is huge for a horror movie, but it's not gigantic.
Yep.
What movie are you remaking and why? Guest, you first, Brett.
House?
That's a good one.
Fuck yeah, Brett.
That's a good one.
Dude. Oh, I wish I could shake your hand right now.
So totally,
choice.
One location. So you're sitting good with that.
Mm-hmm.
The $5 million, you could get, one named actor that can carry it.
Right.
Even be, a C-list actor that would do a great job. And then the rest of it would just go all into set design and practical effects for new monsters. And then you got the humor aspect of it too. So hands down, because that series that franchise is one of my favorites.
Yeah, even 2 was great.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Infamous. Look up William Catt, the actor William Catt. He can't find House because it's such a generic name. He's probably seen nothing but that fucking show with the British actor.
Yeah, Greatest American Hero guy.
Greatest American Hero was in the first House. Oh man, that is such a good call, dude. And you're right, because I'm glad he went first, because I'm just thinking about what movie do I love that I'd love to see remade, but he's actually thinking the filmmaker's brain. He's like, one location, I got the right actor for it. That's brilliant.
No, that's
hey, who would be your C-list actor, Brett? If you could get whoever you wanted.
Man, you know what? It would be really cool. Oh, geez. There's so many actors that I would, that could be a really good for it. Man, I would get, so like if you had like I don't know, because he might be super expensive, but I wouldn't mind seeing like getting John Goodman back into a horror role.
Oh yeah, John Goodman's great in everything.
He was great.
He could be like the mysterious neighbor, and then but for lead, let's see here. I'm looking at my celebrity wall on my.
John Goodman was great in Red State.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's the Kevin Smith one, right?
Overall,
he was also good in that Cloverfield.
Oh yeah,
sequel.
Mm-hmm.
I'm using air quotes because they just added 5 minutes at the end of it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, while Brett finds his person, what's your remake over here, Junkie?
I'm gonna go kick it old school, and I don't give a fuck about any of the sequels because they literally just got worse and worse. The first one had a great source material of a fantastic story. It wasn't even a full book. I think it was either a short story or novella, and it just didn't really focus on what it should have focused. I'd love to see a good remake of Children of the Corn.
Nice.
With just delving more into the psychology of the children and why they do what they do, the supernaturalness of it, of He Who Walks Behind the Rose, and
there's got to be
the story
that works, right?
I think they've made like
7
sequels,
of those shits, and everyone is worse than the one before it,
and none of them eat corn.
Yeah, no. The concept of it, taken from a Stephen King story from the 70s, is just really creepy. I think you'd have to set it in the 80s, though, because you just can't disappear an entire town of adults in 2020. So,
and who would your lead be?
Oh, you need a man and a woman.
Okay.
Mid-30s.
Okay.
Fairly normal looking.
Fairly.
Yeah. Patrick Wilson.
Okay.
And
another horror movie for him?
Yeah. I love him in horror movies. And
Salma Hayek.
Monica Potter.
Can we get Liv Tyler out of retirement?
Ew.
I don't know.
I was never a Liv Tyler guy. My brother was really big into Liv Tyler, and I was like, no.
Hard pass. She was great in Strangers, but
that's kind of where I'm thinking though. That was a long time ago. I don't know. You put me on the spot.
All right. Your remake, Julio?
I think I would go.
So
with,
wait,
go ahead.
Before I forget.
Yeah, let's hear your actor.
Yeah, sorry to interrupting all you guys.
All good.
So I would either go with Skeet Ulrich,
nice.
or which would be my top choice would be Josh Hartnett.
Oh, nice.
I would love to freaking pull Josh Hartnett. You know, he's a Minnesota boy, and that's where I was born and raised. So I got to give love to Josh out there. So.
Oh yeah, 30 Days a Night, man. He's amazing in that movie.
All right, sorry for interrupting you.
No, that was good. That was a good call.
I think I thought about this during this time, and I've switched it a couple times, but I think I'd remake Cube. Cube. Okay. I love the psychology behind it. It's very simple, and I've always been terrified of math. And I think that if I got into the doorway and it was like, oh, what kind of numbers are there? They're prime numbers. Ugh. What the fuck's a prime number?
I'm already terrified.
I definitely.
Yeah.
I think
nothing was scarier
Cube,
than a pop quiz in
Cube
geometry.
is one of those movies like that. I really got into. It can happen to anyone, which is terrifying because I mean you're taken from wherever you're taken. You're just doing your daily life, and you wake up in this cube. Yeah. And you're like, what are we doing here? Who's this guy next to me? I got to travel through this thing. And you even have to figure that part of it, which is terrifying because you're in the unknown. Yeah. You don't know what's going on. I don't know who I'd cast in it. Just a bunch of beautiful people.
I like it. Okay, I'm in.
But Cube is definitely
Any of them get naked?
There was some guy that was kind of weird in it. But I saw all of them.
That's the only bad thing about the progress of horror is horror movies are finally getting incredibly good again, but the nudity thing's kind of gone in them.
Yeah, it's just
not all the ways. Like I mean, like
for the most part,
where we're at here, I think nudity is definitely still involved in it. I mean, you know,
like in the B genre of horror movies,
which is this is where the best horror movies are. I think.
I was hoping to see that chick from Paranormal Activity nude in Paranormal Activity, but that never happened. She had some
main girl.
She had some boobs on her.
Oh, my friend was in Paranormal Activity. She was in the original cut. She was the girl that was the one that chewed her own arm off. In it, and there's a scene. Yeah, there's a scene where they in the original. I saw the original version of Paranormal Activity. A friend of mine was in it
before the studio bought it.
Before the studio, and there was a girl that they showed that had gotten possessed or whatever, and she like chewed her own arm off, and my friend played that part.
Jeez.
Cool. And they edited it out, and I think she's in it for like 2 seconds at that point. But like, I saw the original version, and everybody was like, I was like the last in the group to see that film, and then they brought it to the house, and everybody's just waiting for me to jump. Yeah, and I'm like, dude, nothing shocks me, man. I'm a scientist.
Okay,
back off, man. I'm a scientist.
Okay, I am going with this movie that I absolutely loved. Admittedly, I said pre-2000. It was released in 2000.
We'll give you a pass.
So I'm just owning that. But it was this movie called Session 9.
Oh, yeah. It's a good one.
No.
I love it. Brett, I told you to watch that last year when you asked for recommendations.
Mm-hmm.
And it's about a group of construction workers that are sent to renovate and tear down a psychiatric hospital that's abandoned.
Oh, okay. I have seen this.
And it's cool. David Caruso finds tapes of a girl. And he listens to each session 1 through 9.
Oh, shit, dude. I haven't thought about this movie in a hot minute. This is a good movie.
It is a
great
good movie.
Shit, dude, where can you find this? I want to watch this during Halloween season.
No, it's on Prime.
Yeah,
Oh, thank you for reminding me.
I think it is on Prime or even Netflix.
Nice. Good. Thank you.
It's really good.
I just got a good movie recommendation.
You know what I was thinking when you said Cube? Did you guys? So they're very similar. One's kind of basically a horror version of it, and one's an action version. But there was this itty bitty movie that Cameron Diaz and the guy from Marsden, James Marsden.
Yeah.
James Marsden.
Yeah. Cyclops.
Yeah.
Talking about the box?
Yes.
Oh, the box.
Talking about the box.
Yeah, the Dybbuk box.
Isn't that the guy that did the Rabbit movie? Donnie Darko? Is that the same director?
Oh, maybe. No, he did the Rock movie.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. But it was like, it was so weird and creepy, and it answered like the question, like, what would you do it?
Yeah.
But Crackle had a show that was similar called Chosen. And it was fucking great. Vilo Farmiga, whatever his name is from This Is Us, was the lead. And
you go, oh yeah, I know who you're talking. Milo.
Yeah,
Milo.
the one that played Rocky's son. He's
Yeah.
got the draw on his lip. And then Chad Michael Murray was in it, but it's literally about a box shows up on his doorstep with a picture and a gun in it, and all of a sudden he starts getting shot at. And so the point of the show is you are going to try to be killed by the person who got your picture, and the only way to stop it is you have to kill them first. Nice. And he's got to like protect. He's like a dad with a family and kids and a wife, and they're on the run because he doesn't want to kill this person. And like Brandon Routh's in it. I don't know. I thought it was cool. I kind of like that concept. Like, what would you do? Is always kind of a cool concept.
If somebody shoots at me, I'm going to shoot at them. Especially if someone gives me a gun in a box.
Yeah, it's right there.
Sorry. Yeah. I'm not even a gun guy. I'm still going to shoot back.
Yeah.
All right. It was the director of Donnie Darko. He also did Southland Tales, which is really
Salinger.
It's the Rock movie. The Rock
yeah,
is in
I like that one.
Was it Salinger?
No. Richard Kelly.
Richard Kelly.
Okay, what type, for you guys personally, Brett first, what type of movie is your favorite horror movie? Is it going to be your slasher? Mm-hmm. Is it going to be your teen horror? Is it going to be your supernatural horror? Mm-hmm. What's your favorite genre of horror?
Vampires, demons, whatever. Okay.
So I am a big slasher guy. For me, I rank movies on rewatchability. Mm-hmm. Like if it's really good, but I can only watch it once, I'm not, good job, filmmakers. But I want to be able to watch a movie more than once. So like the jump scares and the super slow burns and stuff, those are good for like a one-off viewing. Mm-hmm. But like to truly be on my top list, I need to be able to watch it every year. Mm-hmm. Once or twice a year for it to even rank. Okay. So like in slashers for me, well, I know what's going to happen, but that's not what it's about. Right. It's about, the nudity and the action and the kills, the amazing kill scenes and, all that kind of stuff. So, and that's generally where the slasher movies are at.
Got it.
Junkie?
I love all types of horror movies. I don't think there's a genre I don't thoroughly enjoy, but if I really want to get frightened, if I'm at home, lights off, wanting to get my melon tweaked, for me it's supernatural, specifically like ghosts, because I believe in them and they frighten the shit out of me.
Saw one at my house.
Saw one at your house. Yeah. Felt one at your house more like, but so the I love slasher movies, don't get me wrong. I love all types of horror movies, but slasher movies are just purely entertaining. If I want to just watch and just be engrossed and have fun, I'm going to have to go with Brett and say slasher. But if I want to scare the shit out of myself, ghosts, essentially ghost stories, supernatural ghost stories, yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's a good distinction, because there's a horror movie that's scary and there's a horror movie that's fun.
Yeah.
Like The Babysitter on Netflix.
Oh my God, so fun.
Those are great.
So fun.
I like the fun ones.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it's very hard. You got to be a genius to scare people nowadays, I think.
Yeah.
And because you've seen it all. I think everything, when you watch a horror movie now, it's a lot of like shock and awe, and like jump scares and stuff. To be really like scared, like you were in The Shining or something.
Yeah,
it's a big movie that you will always remember, like The Shining.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But I love fun horror movies, and this is where I love like Bojangles and movies like this. This is where like the last movie I saw was with a group that everybody was like really upset about watching, and I was having the kick-ass time. Was Terrifier, with the clown. You guys, I think
it's on Netflix, right?
Have you seen that?
There's a picture of a clown, smiling clown on the cover.
Yeah, he's
on Netflix.
He's a great character. The movie's okay.
Was it like David Thornton plays Terrifier?
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
plays the clown.
It's just a fun movie. It's got some scares. It's got really cool, like they kill people in it, and it's a little graphic and stuff. It's cheesy, but I really enjoy those type of movies. It's nice. Fun to watch.
Mm-hmm. Very cool. All right, guys. Well, that is our time for the week. But the good news, this is only kind of part one of Brett's time with our shows, because last year, Junkie started a Halloween podcast tradition that we're going to continue this year.
Hell yeah, dude.
Which is Campfire Stories. If you guys didn't hear it last year, it's not on the Infamous Chronicles. It's on the Murder of Nerds show. And what we did is...
a lot of fun.
It's impromptu horror stories. So there's 4 people. One person starts a story no writing anything down. It's all from scratch. They tell about, what did we do? Like 2-3 minutes each,
like
right?
about 4 or 5 minutes max.
It's meant to be short. And then I would, like, if I started, I'd then pass it to him, to you, and then Brett is going to join us for this. So we have an actual horror storyteller. Julio writes horror screenplays, so it's going to be fun. Yeah. And then each person gets a chance to start a story.
Oh, that sounds like a lot of fun.
So everyone will get a chance to end one, and everyone will get a chance to start one.
Yeah. Oh, that's great.
So
I love it.
Brett's going to join us next week and do that with us as well. And then Julio's going to come back and do it.
We're literally going to do it in your backyard, surrounded
around your fire pit.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, Brett, if you don't want to do it in 40 degrees, just hop on a plane, buddy, and come on out.
Yeah.
All right, I'll be right there.
Awesome.
All right, well, thanks for joining us this week, Brett. You guys, if you haven't had a chance, check out some of Brett's movies, Bone Jangles, 1031. They're available right now on streaming, and we're going to get some copies of Cooley Moon, and I'm going to make Brett sign them.
Oh, that's awesome.
We're going to give them out as prizes.
All right, sounds great.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
All right, guys, thanks for listening to the Infamous Chronicles and the Murder of Nerds.
We very much appreciate your listenership. Go find us on all the socials. You know where to find us. Murder of Nerds or the Infamous Chronicles. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We're all over the place. Whatever nerd thing you do you, boo.
If you want to follow, I'll edit that and put it on the end because I should have said this first. If you want to follow Julio or check out anything that he's doing with the comic book shop, it's at We Can Be Heroes Comics.
Yes, it is.
They have a gaming side of their facility that's opening this month, right?
Yeah, this month.
This month. And then Brett has a movie coming out. It actually came out last Saturday by the time you're hearing this on YouTube. It's a fan film it's called Scream Vermilion Lake. And you can find on your YouTube channel, Brett, or should they just type in Scream Vermilion Lake?
Either one. It will be on my YouTube channel, Mystery Library Productions.
All right, guys. Thanks so much and have a great night.
Take it easy, Brett.
All right.
Thanks, dude.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of Murder of Nerds. This episode is copyright by Infamous Works 2020. All rights are reserved. We do not own any of the rights to the music used in this episode. We are just fans of what they have created. All the statements made in tonight, past, and future episodes are the opinions of the hosts and in no way, shape, or form represent us claiming them to be fact. If you're interested in checking out our other productions, check out Maternal Instincts, The Infamous Chronicles, or We Wednesday, or just visit us at infamousworks.com.